This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, yeah. Uh, how about block shipping? Everyone clear? Any questions, any doubts? Before I go to the Windows Failover cluster, why everyone so silent today?
Monday.
Oh, Monday.
No, no.
Okay, let's be okay. This is one of the most awaiting concept and most important concept. Okay, what we are discussing whole this week are not this week. From now onwards, whatever we are discussing is everything is critical. Okay, uh, a little bit more concentrate. Okay, we'll see one by one. So, uh, we completed block shipping troubleshooting. Okay, yesterday and today evening I will start the database mirroring troubleshoot and maximum will complete database mirroring by troubleshooting by today. Later on, we'll go for replication. Okay, now uh, one of the most important concept and most awaiting concept I mean to say, okay, everyone is waiting for clusters, everyone is waiting for always on availability group, even who are starting their journey as a SQL Server database administrator, who are already working as a database administrator. Most of the people is looking for Windows failure cluster and always an availability group. So first we'll start the Windows failure cluster. Once we build the Windows failure cluster and we'll complete the clustering concept, then we'll go for the always on availability group. So here we'll discuss everything. We'll compare with on premises, we'll compare with the cloud. Okay, what are the changes you notice in the cloud? Okay, to overcome those changes, what are the things you need to take care? Okay, all that part we will discuss in a practical, okay, not in a theoretical. Along with uh, you will also we will also try to build the Windows failure cluster in Windows Server 2016. Okay. Next, we will also build the clusters in Windows Server 2019. Means before Windows Server 2019, from Windows Server 2019. Okay, what is the difference you will notice, especially when you go to the cluster configuration. Especially if you go to the cluster configuration, what you will notice before, after. That is what we are going to discuss with the practical, along with what is the challenges you will see, especially in cloud, not in on-premises. Okay, that is also we are going to cover. Okay, let's first start with the clustering. Okay, till now we completed three major components. One is log shipping, one is mirroring, one is Windows failure, replication. One is with. Okay, so log shipping is database level redundancy where you can maintain multiple secondary copies. Where you can maintain multiple secondary copies. Even when you go to the database mirroring, it is also database level redundancy where you can maintain one to one, one principal, one mirror. But log shipping, one primary, n number of secondary you can maintain. Replication is not a high availability, it's not a disaster recovery technique, it's a future in SQL Server where you can replicate the data and database objects. Means database objects and data. Either you can replicate single object, you can replicate n number of object, you can replicate entire database. Entire database replication. Now, now we are going moving one more head, okay, and we are going to maintain instance level redundancy. We are going to maintain instance level redundancy. So entire instance, okay, you are going to protect. If something happened to one instance, okay, let's move everything to the secondary instance. Okay, so what is the terminologies, what are the internal, we'll see one by one. Okay, so next 3 to 4 days we are going to spend on the Windows failure cluster. So completely Windows Failure Cluster. So what is clustering first? What is WFC? Most of the people will call it as a WFC. Okay, Windows Failure Cluster, WFC, Windows Failure Cluster. And going forward, mostly you won't see Windows Failure Cluster. Okay, nowadays, nowadays also, almost they are reducing the Windows Failure Cluster. Okay, in going forward, definitely you will won't get that much opportunity to work with the Windows Failure Cluster, because so Microsoft is everything is developing on the always on availability group without Windows Failure Clusters. Without Windows Failure Clusters, you can maintain the redundancy using the always on availability group. Now, what are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? What is cluster? What are the components? We'll see one by one, and we'll go for configuration by tomorrow. We'll configure completely Windows Failure Cluster by tomorrow, and session may take almost uh, 2.5 hours to 3 hours to build the Windows Failure Cluster. That too, that is in cloud. If you go for on-premises, it will take 4 hours, 5 hours sometimes, a little bit slow in on-premises. Being we are building on the clusters, over the cloud, it will be a little bit faster. Okay, now let's see what is cluster. Okay, what is Windows Failure Cluster? A cluster is a group of independent computer systems. Okay, so you are grouping the servers in a simple lay terms to understood. Okay, clustering is nothing but group of servers. Every server is working independently. Assume this is one server. Okay, HOE SQL 45. Okay, this is one more server, Dell SQL 190. Okay, this is one more server. Okay, so Cal SQL 45. Okay, these are the three servers which is working independently. Okay, in this server you install SQL Server. In this server you install SQL Server. In this server you install one more SQL Server, and every server is working completely independent. So now I wanted to group the servers to work as a single component. I wanted to group the server to work as a single component. So how you can build that group? So with help of Windows Failover Cluster, you can group the resources. You can group the servers. You can group the services. You can group the resources. You can group the servers. So nothing but okay, cluster is nothing but a group of independent computer systems that is working as a together, and here technically you should call it as a nodes. Here you technically you should call it as a nodes. Every server, whatever are going to part of the cluster. So whatever the servers are going to part of Windows Failure Cluster, technically you should call it as a nodes, working together as a unified computing resource. It is working as one resource. Okay, if something happen, so whatever the services you are running on top of this Windows Failure Cluster, whatever the services you are running on top of Windows Failure Cluster, if something happened, okay, this node will take the responsibility. If something happened to this node will take the responsibility. So here it is a instance level redundancy. It is a instance level redundancy where you are going to maintain with the help of Windows Failure Cluster. With the help of Windows Failure Cluster. So if someone is asking what is Windows Failure Cluster, a simple answer is Windows Failure Cluster is nothing but group of the computers, grouping the computers as a single resource, as a single resource. Clear, everyone?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Okay. Okay. A cluster provides a single name, okay, single name for the client to use and single administrator interface. Okay, so whenever you configuring cluster, okay, whenever you are grouping, you will provide Windows Failure Cluster name along with the IP address. Using this name, you can access the resources. So whenever you are going to build a cluster, whenever you are going to configure Windows Failure Cluster, okay, you will specify one name to the cluster. So using that name, your application team can access. Using that name, your application team can access. So that is nothing but you can call it as a virtual name, cluster virtual name. You can call it as a simply call it as a name, sir, virtual name. So you are going to create a virtual name and you are going to group the resources, group the servers, group the services. So with the help of Windows Failure Cluster. So once we configure Windows Failure Cluster tomorrow, you will get a little bit more clarification because everyone think that okay, Windows Failure Cluster is only for SQL servers. So no, sir. You can create, you can keep n number of resources on top of the Windows Failure Cluster, not only SQL services. Okay, on top, once you group the servers, on top of those servers, you can install SQL, you can install network, you can keep storage, you can keep n number of things. So don't think that okay, we are building the Windows Failure Cluster only for the SQL services. No, means only for the SQL service. No, on top of Windows Failure Cluster, you can place n number of resources. You can place the storage. Again, you can place the storage, you can place the network, you can also place the VMs. You can also place the VMs. You can place the disk, you can place the uh, SQL, you can place the DNS, you can place the IP address, a lot. Means on once you build the Windows Failure Cluster on top of that, okay, you can do lot many things. Out of this, SQL is also one service where we can place on top of Windows Failure Cluster. Once we place SQL on top of Windows Failure Cluster, okay, SQL on cluster. Again, SQL on cluster. Till now, whatever you install is standalone, sir. Till now, whatever you install is standalone. Now we are going to place SQL on cluster. Okay, once you place SQL on cluster, you will get a little bit more something additional components. What are the additional components you will get? Okay, so what exactly it is working, what is the functionality, everything we'll see by once we set up the Windows Failure Cluster. So is nothing but unified computing resource, and it will provide a single name. Using that single name you can access, you can do whatever stuff you want to do. Okay, that is the beauty of Windows Failure Cluster. Okay, now Microsoft servers provides the three technology to support the clustering. Okay, Microsoft is providing three technologies to support the clustering. This is a little bit interesting, sir. So mostly we'll tell that okay, see, you can place network load balancers, you can place network load balancers, you can place component load balancers, you can place Microsoft clustered services, nothing but failure cluster. Okay, failure cluster. So you can place the network load balancers, you can place the component load balancers, you can place the failure clusters. Okay, uh, three different technologies Microsoft is providing. Out of this, we are going to focus on the Windows failure cluster. Okay, later on we will focus the load balancers, not network load balancers. We are not discussing about network load balancer, but we will discuss traditional load balancers. So what is load balancers, how load balancers is working, especially over the cloud for SQL services, how it is working. That is what we are going to discuss. Okay, so Microsoft is providing okay, network load balancers, component load balancers, along with the failure cluster. But our main focus should be failure cluster. If your network team, if you become network team, so you can go and discuss about the network load balancers, and you will go and discuss about the components load balancers. Okay, but we are not part of any network team, sir. We are completely SQL administrators, so we will focus on the Microsoft clustered services. That is nothing but failover cluster. That is nothing but failover cluster. Clear?
Yeah.
Now, clustered services act as a backend. Okay, clustered services act as a backend cluster. What do you mean by this means? Okay, to understood. So whenever you install failure cluster management, whenever you install failure cluster management, you will get one service called cluster servicer. That is the backbone of entire your failure cluster. Okay, that is the backbone of entire your failure cluster. Like when you install SQL Server, you will get the SQL Server service, SQL Agent service. So both the services are very critical for us, right? Both the services are very critical for us, which is doing lot of stuff in the backend. If you stop the SQL Server service, okay, if you stop the SQL service completely, your SQL database engine will goes down, right? Enter. If you stop the SQL Server service, enter your database engine goes down. Like same, when you install Failure Cluster Manager, when you install Failure Cluster Manager, you will get one service called Clustered Service here. Okay. As of now, we not yet install anything, so that's the reason you are not able to see. So once we install Failure Cluster Manager, you will see one service called Cluster Service. That cluster service will plays a major role. That cluster service will plays a major role. Is nothing but backbone of your entire Failure Cluster Manager. Entire Failure cluster service is the backbone. It provides the high availability for applications such as databases, messaging, files, print service, lot of things. Okay, that's what I'm just highlighting, right? Windows Failure Cluster is not only for SQL Server. Sir. You can place applications like databases, messaging, file, printer services, network, storage, lot many generic services, generate scripts. Okay, you can place lot many services on top of Windows Failure Cluster. And this Windows Failure Cluster is completely depends on cluster services. When you install Failure Cluster Manager, you will by default you will get the cluster services. This cluster services will plays a crucial role. Okay. Now, okay, Subbu, again agree. Now, so Microsoft cluster services attempt to minimize the effect of failure on the system as a node. That's what I'm just repeating, right? If something happened to this node, for example, this node went down, sir. And under this node, you are running SQL services, agent services. For example, okay, SQL services, agent services. You are running SQL services, agent services. So if something happened and this node went down due to network issue, due to corruption, something happened and this node went down. Okay, immediately whatever the services are running on top of this node, all the services will move into the another node. All the services will move into the other node. Means whatever the dependencies related to this service, all the dependencies along with these services will move into the node 2 automatically. You no need to worry, sir. Okay, if something happened to this, whatever the services you deployed on top of the cluster, okay, okay, that services will move automatically along with their dependencies. Along with their dependencies means whatever the dependencies related to this services, all the dependencies along with these services will move. Means not moving the services, sir. Services will be available here. Okay, services will be available here. Services will be available here. Okay, Now only it move the connections. It move the connections means it will stop the SQL services here. It will start the SQL services here. When it is stopping, starting, whatever the dependencies related to this server, this services, all the dependencies also will move into the another node. In case this server is also down, so SQL services will move, agent will move, disk will move, network will move, names will move, everything will move into the another node. So what is the sequence? What are the services it is moving? We'll see one by one. So to minimize the downtime at server level, Microsoft came up with the concept called clusters. So this is instance level redundancy. But there is one more major drawback. That's the reason nowadays we are avoiding Windows failure cluster. We are encouraging always on availability group. What is that major drawback with Windows failure cluster? We'll see, sir. There is one major drawback with Windows failure cluster. That's the reason nowadays we are avoiding Windows failure cluster, and we are completely going for always on availability group. Okay, everyone clear, sir? First 3 points. Nothing, sir. It's a grouping of servers. On top of that, you can place a number of services. Out of that, SQL is also one service. Okay, and you are going to provide one name. Okay, along with the IP address. That is about Windows failure cluster. So what is Windows failure cluster? If someone is asking, so Windows failure cluster is nothing but group of the servers, grouping the servers to work as a unified computing resource. To working as a unified computing resource, and we will provide the cluster name along with the okay IP address. And each server which is going to part of cluster, technically you should call it as a nodes. We'll call it as a nodes. How many nodes are going to part of the cluster? It's a 2 node cluster, 3 node cluster, 8 node cluster, 16 node cluster, 24 node cluster, 32 node cluster. Okay, so 64 node cluster means 64 servers you are going to group. Then how Microsoft is maintaining then? So whenever, especially if you go to the PaaS platform, sir, you are going to create the SQL services, you are going to create the MI. In the backend, Microsoft is creating the clusters behalf of you. Behalf of you, Microsoft is going to create the clusters when you specially go to the PaaS platform. Then Microsoft, how many clusters Microsoft need to maintain? That level we'll discuss once we start the Azure SQL database. Okay. Now, sir, you need to understood the terminologies here. That is very important. Okay. So we are having two types of clusters, especially. We are having two types of clusters. One is active active clusters. One is active passive cluster. Passive clusters. Active cluster. Active passive cluster. First, what is active? What is passive? Before we go and discuss what is active, passive, what is active? So, for example, I'm having three nodes. Okay, I'm having three nodes. So, node 1, node 2, okay, node 3, node 3, three node. I build three servers, sir, and I'm configuring the cluster. I'm configuring the cluster. Okay, I'm configuring the cluster. Now, what is active? What is passive? First, you should understand what is active, what is passive. Active is nothing but where your SQL services are running, on which node your SQL services are running. Technically, you should call it as a active node. Technically, you should call it as a active node. On which node your SQL services are running, you should call it as a active node. And remaining nodes will call it as a passive nodes. Remaining will call it as a passive node. So the node which is a idle node, okay, the node which is a idle node. So for example, You are installing one SQL instance, sir. For example, you are installing one SQL instance. So, for example, you selected SQL instance, okay, prod instance. So, and you are making this as a active, means in this node 1, you are going to run the SQL services. Again, sir, this is Windows failover cluster. So, like for log shipping, what you done, sir? Primary, secondary. For mirroring, principal, mirror. For replication, publisher, distributor, subscriber. You can configure n number of subscribers, right? Like same, okay, like same. You can maintain n number of passives for this Act2 SQL. For this Act2 SQL, you can maintain n number of passives. You can maintain n number of passives. One second, sir. Okay, n number of passives. You can maintain n number of passives. So, for example, once you install SQL, okay, you need to install the passive installation. Passive installation. So, how many nodes cluster it is? Two node cluster, three node cluster, four node cluster, five node cluster, six node cluster, seven node cluster, eight node cluster. So, for example, how many passives you want? That means whenever you are installing SQL Server, so we will get what is our active node, what is our remaining our passive nodes. Okay, what is your active node is very important, and how many passives you want, that is also very important, sir. Means if you want two passive nodes along with one active node, you need to install three times same instance. Same this prod instance, same this prod instance, you need to install in node 1, you need to install in node 2, you need to install in node 3. But here we will install active installation, here we will install passive installation. Little bit different, sir. The installation is a little bit different. Okay, the installation is a little bit different. Very easy, but little bit different. Okay, where you wanted to make active, okay, that node you need to install new cluster installation, and remaining node you need to install passive installation. So for example, it's a three node cluster, you need to install three times same instance. Okay, and if something happened to node 1, no worries, node 2 or node 3 will make as a active, and rest everything will make as a passive. So active means where my SQL services are running. Sir, when you are installing SQL Server, don't think that okay, this is my active node, this is my passive node. No. Once you complete installation, you can treat which node you wanted to bring as a active, and rest will become as a passive. Rest will become as a passive. So node 1 is my active node because my SQL services are running on node 1, and node 2, node 3 as my passive node, which is ideally means where your SQL servers are in stopper state. Only one node your SQL services will active, sir. That is nothing but node 1. Currently, node 1 I am choosing, right? Wherever your SQL services are running, you should call it as a active node, remaining or passive nodes. Okay, that is nothing but active passive cluster. Now, for example, sir, you purchase a powerful computer, 64 cores and 250 GB of RAM. Okay, RAM, 64 cores, 250 GB of RAM. Okay, 64 cores. Okay, 250 GB of RAM. Okay, I am not sure when this server will goes down. No one knows, sir. No one predict. Okay, when this server goes down. Till till that time, node 2, node 3 are sitting idle without doing any work. Correct? And you purchase some powerful computer to sit idle, sir. No, right? Are you getting, sir? If you understood this point, you are almost strong at cluster. See, you purchase three powerful computers and you group together, and three computers are working as a single unified computer resource. Okay, and you are trying to install the SQL server. Now you decide node 1 is my active node and node 2, node 3 my passive node for prod instance. For prod instance. Now, node 2, node 3 are just sitting idle. Means no services are running. It is in stopper state. Your SQL services will be in stopper state in all passive nodes. And you purchase little bit powerful computers and sitting idle, wasting of your resource, right? Yes or no? So they came up with one more concept called, okay, let's go and install one more instance. Let's go and install one more instance. Okay, let's install, okay, test instance and make this as my active node for this instance, and rest will make as a passive. Rest will make as a passive. Passive. This is your passive. This is your passive. This is your passive. And this is your passive. So for test instance, node 2 is active. For prod instance, node 1 is active. So this type of this configuration, you should call it as a active active cluster. Active active means multiple instances. A simple active passive means single instance. Single instance. Active active means multiple instance. That's it, sir. Very simple answer. Multiple instance means you are installing multiple instance, and you are making node 1 as active, node 2 is a active for another instance. Like same, you can install one more instance dev and make it as a active, and rest you can make it as a passive for this installation. Passive. So now this is like a complete active active cluster where all the node SQL services are running, but different services, not same services, sir. In node 1, prod instance is running. Node 2, test instance is running. Node 3, dev instance is running. But now, sir, if technically speaking, if something happened to node 1, okay, now you need to move the prod instance to node 2 or node 3. In that scenario, okay, so any one of the node need to take little bit responsibility to run the two instance at same time, okay, to run the same instance same time. So that is also possibility, sir. If node 2 node 3 is also down, then dev is also move here, so all the three instances are handling by one node. So when you decide to configure active active cluster, little bit, okay, careful that about the resources. On suddenly if something happened to all the nodes, one node need to take responsibility to run the all the services at one shot. That time you should not notice any resource constraints. So when you are deciding active active clusters, we'll go for little bit powerful computers than active 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 passive clusters, sir. Questions? No questions?
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Yes, suppose we have the three node and we install two instances there. So in that case, one node is always passive. So it is called
Yes.
active active or active passive.
Sir,
Just one
again,
node is always passive.
yeah, yeah, again, just I'm highlighting to everyone, there is no concept called active, 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 passive for SQL level, sir. This is for our understanding. Okay, a simple idea. This is for our understanding. Okay, so technically speaking, active, active only, sir. Okay, forget about something active, active, because two nodes, majority, sir, two nodes, majority nodes are active. So you can call, sir, call this active, active or active, passive. That doesn't make any sense. Make sure that your SQL services need to run either any one of the instance. This is for our understanding, for interview explanation. Okay, Amit, clear?
Yeah. Okay.
This is for our understanding. That's it. So the node which SQL is running, you should call it as active. The node which is idly running, we'll call it as a passive. That's it, sir. This is for our understanding. questions? No? Yes?
Subbu, how many
Yes.
actually we can keep the how many secondary notes means passive notes we can keep
64, sir. 64
64
node
in
clusters.
which version?
64 node. Windows Server 2012 onwards. Not
12
SQL, sir. It's the Windows servers.
Windows. Oh yes, yes,
Cluster
yes,
is
yes,
for Windows level, not SQL
yes,
level.
yes. Okay, 64 we can keep it,
Yeah.
but license is one only because if it is one active, the license should be
Grouping,
one to
yes.
one.
Grouping, yes. And maximum you can install 50 instance because all these three computers are being part of one, sir, right? So how
Right.
many instance you can install in one server? 50. One default, 49 named, correct?
Okay. Yes.
Same, how many instance you can install in Windows Failover cluster? 50 only, sir. 50 only. So means, okay, three computers. Okay, I can install 50 here, 50 here, 50 here. No, 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 no. No, sir. All three are one. So you can install 50 instance.
And one more question.
Yes.
Actually, there is a, you said there is a 64. Okay, active is first service active. Okay, when it is going means failover, it will go to second one or third one. There's any
Oh, that we need to set it, sir. Preferred owner,
okay
possible owners.
preferred.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah. Once we configure tomorrow, we'll set up the Windows Failover cluster. Once we install the SQL Server, first we need to complete, okay, Windows
okay,
Failover cluster configuration, SQL configuration. We'll go for properties one by one,
okay,
like preferred owner, possible owner, okay, and cluster level properties, role level properties, services level properties, resource level properties. We'll see lots, sir. Like how we discuss about replication property. Okay, we discuss each and every point of replication property, right? Same way we will discuss about the cluster properties.
sure.
Okay, not okay?
Okay,
Yeah. No, sir. So same thing, sir. Single instance is nothing but active passive cluster. Okay, active passive cluster is nothing but a single instance which where you are running. So what is active cluster is nothing but multiple instance. If you install multiple instance, then technically you should call it as a active cluster. So that is just for our understanding purpose. Okay, uh, basically your application team will tell that okay which node should be active, which node should be passive. So based on that, you will make sure that under which node you need to run the SQL services. You need to run the SQL services. Okay. Okay, just relax for 5 minutes, sir. I'm getting a call. Okay, hold on, hold for 5 minutes. Okay.
okay.
Yeah, sorry, I'm back to online. Everyone able to hear, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, uh, so no questions on active, active, and active passive cluster, right? What is cluster? What is active, active? What is active, passive? Everyone clear? No? Yes?
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay, now, sir. So, for example, if yes, someone is
Hello.
asking.
Sir,
Yes,
which versions is it is compatible, sir?
all versions, sir. There is no
If,
dependence. All versions are compatible.
okay. If some instances are in one version and some other instances are in other version, then it is possible, sir.
Now, how you will configure? It's a single unified resource,
Okay.
right? Under that single
Okay.
unified
Okay.
resource, you need to use the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Means, sir, again, let's explain you. Okay. For example, this is my prod instance, which is running SQL. This is a prod instance, which is running on SQL Server 2022. For example, this is
Okay.
a
Okay,
test
sir.
instance, which is running SQL Server 2019. This is a dev instance, which is running on SQL Server 2017.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
every instance
Yes.
can be separate, but Act 2 should be SQL Server 2022. Passive should be 2019. No, sir. This is one resource. This is one resource.
Okay.
So one version. So one more instance that is up to your research. Take your laptop also. In your laptop, you are installing SQL Server 2016, 2017, 2019, 2022, any version. Like same here on top of the cluster also, you are installing same SQL only. But every instance you should be unique. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
active, passive should be unique, sir, always. That is the one thing. And now, okay, now let's go for a concept, actual concept, sir. So, for example, let's go for a two-node cluster to avoid the confusion. No, this is not sufficient. Let's go for okay. Let's go for let bigger, sir. Okay, we'll go like this. Okay, now there are two nodes. It's a two-node cluster. For example, it's a two-node cluster. Okay, where you are going to group the two nodes. Okay, and you are specifying the cluster name. Okay, cluster IP address to group. While you are grouping, you need to specify the cluster name, cluster IP address. Okay, these are node 1. Okay, node 2, node 1, node 2. So every server will have the public IP address, correct? Every server will contain the public IP address, public, public IP, public IP. So for your laptop also, there will be one public IP address, sir. By default, by default, every server will get the public IP address. Okay. So what is the main purpose of public IP address? Okay, for connectivity purpose, correct? To RDP. Basically, we'll RDP using the public IP address. Generic, sir. Again, so public IP address for connectivity purpose. Every node will get one public IP address. Okay. Now, along with you will enable one more NIC card. One more NIC card, network interface card. That is nothing but private IP address. Private IP. Nothing but private private IP. Private IP. So whatever the servers are going to part of cluster, again, whatever the servers are going to part of clusters, every server will contains one public IP address, one private IP address. Again, sir, some of the organization they will disable the public IP address to for protection purpose. Okay, that time they will use the completely private addresses, private address. So you need one more NIC card, network interface card, that technically you are calling as a private IP address to check the heartbeat of the cluster. To check the heartbeat, to check the heartbeat, we will configure the private IP address. For connectivity purpose, we will configure the public IP address. For connectivity purpose, we'll configure the public IP address. To check the heartbeat of your cluster, we will configure private IP address. We'll configure private IP address. Sir, getting or not? So technically, you should call it as a nodes. Okay, technically you should call it as a nodes, and you will have one. Every node will have one public IP address for connectivity purpose, one private IP address for heartbeat purpose or connectivity purpose. You can use connectivity purpose, you can use heartbeat purpose. You can use heartbeat purpose, you can use connectivity purpose, because private IP address are more secured. Private IP address are more secure than public IP address. Public IP address means anyone is using, sir. Public. It's a public, anyone can use. But private IP address are only within that organization they can use. Within that network they can use. Those are nothing but private IP address. So every node they will enable the a NIC card. Every node they will enable the NIC card. Where, sir? In on-premises. In on-premises. But when you go to the cloud, by default you will get the public IP address, private IP address. You no need to enable any NIC card, sir. But I will show you how to enable the NIC card. One more NIC card. Okay, network interface card, sir. Okay, but that is also very important. So when you are going to discuss the load balancers, when we are discussing load balancer, all that stuff, I need to enable one more NIC card to the servers. We'll see one by one. So public IP address is nothing but connectivity purpose. Private IP address is nothing but to check the heartbeat. To check the heartbeat between the nodes it will use. Okay, clear, sir? First 2 points, everyone. Technically, you need to call it as a nodes. Okay, nodes, whatever the servers are going to part of cluster, you should call it as a nodes. And the cluster services will place one of the major role, we'll see, sir. Okay, uh, and heartbeat. Okay, so keep on checking whether server, like for example, are you healthy? Yes, I'm healthy. Are you healthy? Yes, I'm healthy. Are you healthy? Yes, I'm healthy. Like that, it is keep on checking the heartbeat, sir. Okay, it is keep on checking the heartbeat. Nothing but heartbeats are messaging that clustered service regularly sending between the instance of the clustered services. Each instance, it is keep on checking the heartbeat between the nodes. And private IP address to check the heartbeat purpose, and also you can use for connectivity purpose. Okay, and public IP address mostly we will use the connectivity purpose. Mostly we'll use the connectivity purpose. So these three components clear, sir, everyone? Everyone? So that's what I told you,
Yes.
right? Windows failure cluster, not for SQL team, sir. It is for Windows team basically. But there is no Windows team. We need to discuss everything here. There is no Windows team for us, sir. You need to discuss everything. You need to deploy. You need to do again. Okay, we will become everything now here. We will become Windows team, we will become storage team, we will become network team, we will become active directory team to do all this stuff. Okay, so these three components are very important. On top of this, okay, on top of this, okay, now very important is storage. We not yet discuss anything storage, sir. So what are the major thing here is storage. So you can't use local storage. That is a one of the major drawback in entire Windows failure cluster. Means like when you take your SQL instance, sir, you are keeping everything under your local disk, correct? You are keeping everything under your local disk, like system databases, log files, StemDB, backups, everything you are keeping in the local disk, correct? Apart from binary files. So forget about binary files, sir. Obviously, binary files will go to the C drive, local C drive. But Apart from binary files, there are MDF files, LDF files, backups, StemDB, all that stuff, right? So that you can't store in the local. You need to store in the shared SAN storage. Shared SAN storage. Shared SAN storage. Again, I'm repeating that you can keep in the shared SAN storage. Shared disks, not local disk. This is one of the major drawback in Windows Failure cluster. There is not local storage. You need to go for shared storage only. So by mistakenly means, what do you means Subbu means? So for example, you created one D drive, E drive, T drive. So D drive for data files, E drive for log files, T drive for tempdb. Okay, tempdb. So wherever your active node, these three drives will point to that active node. For example, here your SQL is running. Okay, these three drives will point to active node. In case if something happened to node 1, the SQL services are moving to node 2, your disk will also move to the node 2. So common storage. And here one more is one instance, one disk. One disk means these three disks are belong to this prod instance. If I'm installing one more instance, can I use this three disk, any one of the three disk? No, sir. No. So unique disk, every instance should maintain unique disk. That is one more challenge. Like in on-premises, so in a traditional, see sir, if you go to our laptop, we are having three instance, prod instance, dev instance, test instance, default instance. All three instance I'm going for a single drive, correct? Yes or no? I'm going for single drive. I'm keeping everything in single drive. See, I'm keeping my data files, log file, temp div, everything in this disk. But that is not compatible when you specially go to the clusters. So every instance need to maintain unique disk. Every instance need to maintain unique disk means again I need to create some other disk. Okay, L drive, M drive, N drive. Okay, let's keep the data here. If I'm creating one more instance, let's create one more disk and keep the data in that instance. So whenever you are failovering, your disk will also fail over. And both servers are commonly using one storage. Shared SAN disk. Shared SAN disk we are going to use, not local disk, sir. We can't use local disk. Especially if you go to the C colon cluster. That is one of the major drawback. So for example, what is the main purpose of Windows Failure Cluster? To protect uh, uh, system level corruptions. So in case something happened to operating system, something happened to anything happened to infrastructure level, no worries, I can fail over. But if something happened to SAN, then gone, correct? Both nodes, no use. Correct, right, sir? Your nodes are healthy, but SAN is down. And that too, that is working with a network. Shade is nothing but working with a network. Network disk can down anytime when you compare with physical disk. When you compare with physical disk, network disks are little bit dangerous. Agree? One more point. So
Yeah, yeah.
something may happen, then entire your instance will down. Entire your instance will down. See, sir, that is what. So here you are going to configure the cluster between two servers, and commonly you are using the storage with the help of switches. They will make the switches. Okay, if node 1 goes down, it will go to the node 2. Okay, if node 2 goes down, it will go to the node 1. Okay, I am agree, but what are the major thing you need to focus? Not here, let me show you one image. Yeah, here, come on here. I forgot. If something happened to storage, both node is no use, sir. That is one of the major drawback in entire Windows Failure cluster. You are maintaining the shared SAN disks. If disk down, entire SQL down. If node 1 is healthy, node 2 is healthy, node 3 is healthy, node 4 is healthy, no use. Entire SQL goes down. Okay, not okay, this concept. Everyone,
Yes, sir.
questions, sir? No worries. We are having a lot of time. Just raise your questions, okay? If you should understood, sir. This is the one of the topmost interview question you will face while you are attending interviews. What is the difference between always on and cluster? What is the difference between always on cluster? Okay, so this is the one thing. So on cluster, we are going for the shared storage disks. That is a little bit dangerous. But if you go for always on, we can go for local disks. You can go for local disks. So local disks are more compatible when you compare with shared storage disks. Yeah, questions. No, yes. Okay. Now, sir. Okay. Uh, we discuss about the SAN, we discuss about the public IP address, we discuss about the private IP address, we discuss about the network, we discuss about active passive, we discuss about what is Windows failure cluster. Rest everything we can discuss one by one when we configure the clusters. Okay. Anything else still we want to discuss? Active we discuss. Prerequisites tomorrow we'll discuss, sir. Cluster node we'll discuss. Active discuss. Private discuss. Shared discuss. Okay. That's it, sir. Okay. Rest concepts we'll see one by one. If no questions, okay, let's build the server, sir. I will build the servers today so that tomorrow we'll go for a fresh cluster configuration. If no questions,
Subbu.
Subbu, I have a question. So,
yes,
what's
sir.
the difference between on-prem Windows Failure cluster versus cloud?
Yeah, that's what, sir. If I explain, you will go to you can't understand. Okay. If I show you, you can understand, sir. We'll discuss. That's what I told you, right? We'll discuss on-prem to cloud difference, Windows Server 2016, Windows Server 2019. What is the difference? You will notice. Especially go to the cloud. We'll see one by one. Okay, Kishore, no worries.
Yeah,
One
okay,
major
thanks.
thing, sir. Okay, one major thing that is nothing but uh, connection. Means whenever you are connecting your SQL, wherever your SQL is running, only on that node you will connect, not in another node when you go to the cloud. But on premises that you never face. That's what, sir. We'll see. Okay. 1 second. Let me bring my mobile, sir. I need to connect uh, account. Okay. Or just relax for 10 minutes. Okay. I will connect this one and we'll start at 9:30. Okay. Stay back in the call. Don't disconnect, sir. Okay. 9:30 sharp. We'll start to build the servers. Okay. So Outlook. Sunny, are you available?
Yes.
Okay. No. Okay.
Okay. No, no. Okay. I want to accept that one. Huh? Okay, I will do it.
No, not accept. You will get one code to your email address.
Okay, just a minute. I will share.
You got it, or you
No,
can
no,
send
just a minute.
your.
Okay.
No problem, no problem. Take your time. We have 7 minutes.
Okay. Uh, 5:30. Okay. It can be in span mail.
No. Let me do. Just ping me your. What happened? Oh, you not received any email?
Yes, yes. That's why I not received any email.
Okay, no worries. 1 second. Let me once again log in. Yeah, it's connected. Yeah. Later on, we'll verify. No worries. It's allowed the connection. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Just relax for 4 minutes. We'll start.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Everyone able to hear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's build the servers today. Okay. So that tomorrow we'll go for complete configuration. We'll have a lot of time. Okay. So let's do all the basic groundwork for tomorrow's session. Again, we should not waste our time for tomorrow. Okay. We completed a little bit about theoretical. We not done lot of things, or we yet to done lot of things. Okay, we'll see one by one in the once we build the Windows failure cluster. So basically, once you connect to the portal.azure.com, that's what yesterday, last session we discussed, right? If you wanted to connect to the portal.azure.com, you need either Outlook mail or Hotmail or a Skype account or your professional email. Okay, email also you can access the portal.azure.com. Once you connect to the portal.azure.com, first you need to go and create the subscription. First you need to go and create the subscription. So once you click here, then click on add. Okay, click on add, and you need to click on, oh sorry, wait, why it is showing? Let's click on add. Oh, we already created, right? Oh shit. We already created actually. uh,
So
let
I have
me
not created
do.
anything actually. I just create the account. That's all.
Oh, you
Just
created the subscription.
uh, account I created, not subscription.
Oh, you not created subscription.
Yes.
Then how come the subscription is available? Okay. Means Microsoft is creating by default for you.
Yes, I think.
How come?
We can drop and
Okay.
create
No,
it.
no need to drop anything. Okay.
Okay.
So everyone hold for free trial subscription. The people who are I will tell you when you need to create, sir. Okay, most probably next week you can start the creating. Okay, meanwhile we'll complete the clusters, we'll complete the always on, then at least later on you can start doing the practice. Okay, once we complete everything, if you go for practice, you'll have at least more time. If you work with one or two people together, okay, within that within your group. Okay, if you are having, everyone is having a credit card, and you can create one free trial subscription. Only one people can create the free trial subscription, rest you can use the free trial subscription, sir. Again, don't get fight to create, okay, I need to create the cluster, I need to create the cluster. You are having 1 month free trial. Okay, so that is one of the major reason I am telling. First, do practice the cluster. Okay, first do the practice the cluster, later you can go for always on availability group. Okay, I will help you how that. Okay, when someone next time, when whoever creating the next time, okay, portal.azure.com, please let me know. Okay, I will share, I will grant you control to share your screen. Let's see, by default it is creating free trial subscription or not. Okay, if by default you not yet provided any your credit card details.
Yes, yes, I created, given the credit card details.
Then it will create, right?
Nice.
Okay, then it
Without
will
credit
create.
card, we cannot create, na?
Yes, okay. That is the one thing, sir. Once you connect to the portal, okay. Once you connect to I wanted to show you while I'm creating for Sunil account, but he already created. No problem. Next time, whoever creating, just let me know. I will share the screen, and I will show you how to create the free trial subscription. And easy, sir. No need to worry. Only one thing you need to little bit careful. Whatever the credit card you are going to provide, no need to provide the pan cards or nothing, your name, your mobile number, okay, and your credit card address. That address is very important. Okay, whatever the address you given to the credit card, same address you need to specify, sir. Okay, same address you need to specify. That is one advantage, sir. Okay, only that thing, sir. Immediately it will create the free trial subscription. On flight will create the free trial subscription. So when you just click on subscription, okay, you will see the free trial. When you click on free trial, it will ask your username, your name, your first name, last name, your email address, your mobile number, along with the card details. No need to specify any PAN card. Just it will ask the card details. Once on the card details, you need to provide your card number, CV number, along with the address. And it will take only 2 rupees. So Microsoft will charge only 2 rupees, sir. Okay, and don't get afraid, Microsoft won't charge any additional rupees. Nothing. Microsoft won't charge anything, sir. Microsoft will charge only 2 rupees. Next time, whoever creating, just let me know. I will show to everyone. Okay, is it fine, right, everyone? But don't create for next 2 to 3 days or 4 days, sir. I will let you know when you need to create. If you are working with the two to three groups, okay, you can create immediately. No problem. Okay, no problem. Again, make some teamwork. Okay, because for example, if someone is who is not having any credit card, if you are helping them, that is also good. Okay, and you no need to share your credentials. Okay, so once you create the subscription, this is your subscription looks like, sir. Go to the subscription. Okay, go to the subscription. Before that, go to the active directory. Go to the active directory. Okay, where is active directory? Go to the active directory. Okay, and create one user in the active directory, sir. Create one user. So for example, I am going to create. Okay, I am going to create with my name, for example, Subbu CN. Okay, so provide the Subbu CN. Okay, and provide a password. Welcome at the rate 123. Okay, I provided the password. Okay, now go to the user and grant global administrator permission. Okay, global administrator permission. He can do anything, sir. If you are having global administrator permission, then click on OK, select. So once you connect to the portal, whoever created the free trial subscription, go to the subscription, create one user in active directory, okay, and grant the global administrator permission. Click on create.
So
Click on
where we
create.
need to give the global, where it will be the global create
Right.
permission.
So when you are creating the user, there is a role, sir. There is a
Okay,
role. Under the role, you need to select the global administrator.
okay,
Okay, so for example, this is a user. Okay, there are roles. Role. Under role, you can assign global administrator permission. You can assign global administrator permission. Once you create a user and once you set the password, go to the subscription. Okay, open the subscription. Go to IAM, Access, Identity Access Management. Under here, you need to go to the role-based access, role-based access, and okay, member, and click on add member and choose your name. The framework is completely changing, sir. Last time this is not a framework. Now this time you are seeing this framework. Now I created one user, right? Okay, use that, you select that user and click on select. Click on select. Getting my point? Just you need to allow Subbu user to access this subscription. Access this subscription. See, sir, for example, I am not granting here. I just create a user. I just created one user, sir. Go to here active directory. Okay, there is a user with my name. There is a user with my name, right? This is your username, sir. Copy the username. Open different portal. Okay, here I'm opening portal.azure.com. This is another browser, sir. Okay, another browser. Let me disconnect. Okay, let me disconnect here. I created one user, right, under Active Directory. Now, let me forget this one. Let me provide this one. Little bit lengthy name, sir. It will be. Okay, no problem. Hey, copy twice. Sorry. Okay, now provide the password. Welcome at the rate 123. Now this time it will ask to change the password. It will ask to change the password and provide the new password. So provide the new password. That's it. You will log into the portal. Now you don't need any Hotmail, Outlook, Skype, blah 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 something. So Sunil needs to create one user, okay, and he need to provide that username and password. Once you got username and password, now see sir, okay, now you see you are able to access the portal. Now once you got the portal, first time we yeah see sir now this time I can show you. First time once you connect to the portal, you will see the start with the Azure free trial subscription. This is the window you will get it sir once you connect to the portal. Now what you need to do, click on here, okay, start the free, start the free. Now here you need to provide your username, your first name, last name, email address, mobile number, whatever it is asking, just provide along with the see first name, middle name, last name, okay, and you need to provide your organization, any name you can provide sir, no need to provide the pan card details, okay, it is ignore, it is optional. And the address is very important sir, whatever the credit card you given address to the credit card, same address. In case you forget that address, if you go and see the credit card statement, it will show you the on the top, it will show the address of your credit card sir, that address you need to specify, and you need to just click on agree and click on sign up, and you need to provide your card details, you need to provide your card details and then click on sign up. That's it sir, apart from nothing else you need to do. Once you connect to the portal, it will pop up you to sign up. Okay, start the free trial. Once you click on start the free trial, you need to provide your full name, first name, last name, middle name, and provide the mobile number, and ignore the PAN card, and provide the address whatever you given to the credit card, and provide your credit card details. Then click on submit. Sign up. That's it, sir. It will create the free trial account for you. It will create the free trial account for you. Oh, I closed it. Oh, sorry. Portal.asset.com. So it will create the free trial account for you. But again, sir, why it is asking? Okay, now one thing. Okay, now why again I need to create the free trial account? I already free trial account is created by Sunil, correct? Now I need to grant, you need to grant, Sunil need to grant the permission to me. Okay, see, I can't access anything, sir. See, without subscription, you can't access anything. Nothing. See, sir, I can't create anything. For see, when I go to the Sunil's account, I can do anything. Now I can create the VMs, I can create anything. But when I go to the user which is created by Sunil, I can't do because you not yet granted permission to the subscription. So I need to go and grant the permission to the subscription. How you will grant, sir? So that's what I told you, right? Go to the subscription. Okay. Go to the subscription and go to the IMA and click on, okay, click on add role assignment. Okay. Here, what is the role you need to add, sir? Here you need to add the owner. Search for owner, sir. Owner. Come on here. Privilege administrator. Owner. Okay. Owner permission, sir. Already added owner permission. Now you need to add the member. You need to add the member. What is your member? This is my username. Subbu. Subbu CN. Okay. So for Subbu CN, by default you are getting the owner member. Then click on review and assign. Then click on review and assign. Review and assign. That's it, sir. Once you grant the permission to Subusian, now you can refresh here. Now there is no free trial. You gone. It's gone for Subusian. Now whatever Sunil can do, you can also do same thing. See, you got 2,200 credits, nothing but 15,000 Indian currency. Questions?
Uh, Subbu, can I ask you a question here? So Sunil created the account and Sunil accessed his account and he created a user with Subbu CN and user Subbu CN created a free trial account again, right? Why can't Subbu CN access to Sunil account and subscriptions and do his stuff?
No, now Subbu can access the Sunil subscription, right? No, I not had created any free trial, sir. See, when I logged in with my account, is anywhere I provided any credit card details? No, right? No, I just shown you. I just shown you how to create the free trial subscription. I not had created anything.
Okay, I got
Uh,
it. Yeah.
yeah. So I
So
granted the permission. Yeah. So, yes.
yeah, sorry. Uh, so uh, so Sunil created the user Subbu CN and he granted global administrator account, right? And then you
Yes. At
granted some
Active Direct
other
level.
yeah,
No, no,
Active
no, sir.
Directory.
At Active Direct level, global administrator grant, sir. At a subscription level, grant the owner. By default, you are getting owner.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so subscription level and Active Directory level, both are different permissions.
Yes, sir. Now I
Okay,
can access the subscription. See, I can go and see the Sunil subscription. See, this is not my subscription. This is Sunil subscription. You can get it here. See, P Sunil Kiran Outlook dot on Microsoft.com. This is not my subscription. My subscription is Subbu, sir. Actually, my login name is Subbu. But you are seeing the Sunil because this is Sunil subscription I am using. Okay, that is how can help you, sir, to create multiple account, multiple free trial subscriptions. Is it helping everyone, right? Instead of everyone creating a free trial subscription at one shot. Okay, if two people can work together, two people can work together, two people can work together. Okay, so that you can work at least for 2 months, 3 months.
Yes.
Clear? Not
yeah,
clear?
So,
yeah.
yes, yes.
So
So,
multiple people can work with one subscription.
Yes, sir. Yes.
But in the real time, in within the one account, we can create more than one users and they can access the same subscription and account, right?
Yes, sir. That is real time. Okay,
Okay.
everything identical. Here we have limited free trial accounts, right? So everyone having only one credit card or two credit card maximum. Why we need to waste all our credit cards simply? Okay. So for
Yeah,
that's the reason I'm telling. Yeah,
yeah, I got it. Thanks.
yeah. So don't create on suddenly. Okay, just hold for 1 or 2 days. Let me complete one concept, then you can go and practice, sir. Okay. So we can do one thing. First, I will complete Windows failure cluster. Then I can go for Azure SQL database. You are having time. Okay, you can practice Windows failure cluster for 1 week because I will take 1 week for Azure SQL database almost. Okay, once we complete Azure SQL database, so what you can do, right? For example, Anil created one account and granted to Amit. Anil can practice cluster. Amit can practice Azure SQL database. Anil can practice while Anil is practicing Azure SQL database. Amit can practice cluster. That makes sense, right?
yes,
Everyone?
yes, yes.
Okay. So after the cluster, I will start Azure SQL database. So when I'm starting Azure SQL database, go and create the free trial subscription and grant them. Okay. So Anil, for example, Ali is creating free trial subscription. Ali, you can start working with cluster, and Amit, you can start with Azure SQL database. Once Ali is completed cluster, Ali informed to Amit, hey, you can practice cluster. I will practice Azure SQL database. Make sense, everyone?
Yes, sir.
That will make more sense. Okay. Yeah, that's it, sir. Now, which account this is? I don't want this account. Let's go for okay, Sunil. Now, yeah, firstly, thanks Sunil, okay, for creating the free trial subscription and helping me. Okay, firstly, I'm very
And
thankful.
Subbu, one more thing is 30 days it's showing now.
Yeah, it will show 30 days only.
The
After
last
30
time when
days,
we
this free
said
trial.
27 na.
Oh, 30 days again back. Okay, good. Please. So that's what, right? I told you, right? Cloud drastically we're getting, okay, changes, changes, changes. So that's the reason I'm telling don't waste your accounts. Now, sir, the first service today we are going to start is, okay, VMs. How to build the VMs. Okay, means how to create the VMs. Okay, how to create the VMs. For example, sir, for example, you wanted to purchase one laptop. Okay, what are the major components you will look into, sir? Everyone, what are the major components? Forget about brand. Okay, I am not worrying about brand. Okay, what are the major components you will look into?
RAM,
RAM,
CPU, hard disk.
disk,
CPU, processor. Okay,
memory,
memory, memory, storage, graphic, graphic card, and OS, what operating system you are getting. Correct? These are the major components you will look into when you are going to purchase a laptop. Correct? Yes, right, sir. How many cores you are getting, which process you are choosing, okay, how much of memory you are looking, what is the storage, either you are going for SSD, okay, or HDD, okay, or you are going for which type of graphic card, okay, operating system, what operating system they are offering, and what is the RAM size, like 8 GB RAM, 16 GB RAM, 32 GB RAM, and how many cores, 4 cores, 8 cores, okay, and 12 cores, 16 cores, how many cores, which process, Intel or AMD process, which processor I wanted to choose. So these are the major components you will look into whenever you are going to purchasing the laptop. Like same, sir, when you are going to deploy a server, either in Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, any cloud provider, sir. When you decide to purchase a sorry, when you decide to purchase a VM, I need to build a VM. I need to build a VM. Either you go for Azure, you will call it as a virtual machine. In AWS, you will call it as a EC2 instance, sir. Again, I'm repeating. In AWS, you will call it as a EC2 instance. EC2 instance is nothing but a VM. It's a VM. Okay, don't get confused. It's a VM. It's a VM. Okay, so but in AWS you will call it as a EC2 instance. In Azure you are calling as a virtual machine. So what is your platform? What is your platform? Like Dell, Lenovo, Acer, Apple, MacBooks. So what is the platform? The underlying concept is same. Correct? So the platform can be different. It can be AWS, it can be Azure, it can be AWS, Google Cloud, it can be Alibaba Cloud. The underlying concept is same, sir. You are going to build a VM. Hope you are getting right. So you want to build a VM. So when you supposed to want to build a VM, here major thing you will see is size. Size. Okay. Either you go for AWS, you will go for Azure, you will go for Google Cloud, you will go for anywhere. You need the sizes. So when you go for size, Azure VM sizes. Okay. For example, you are going for Azure VM sizes. Okay. We are having, okay, total 7 sizes. We are having total 7 sizes. Seven. One is general purpose, one is compute optimized, one is memory optimized, one is storage optimized, one is GPU, one is high performance. Finally, one more is confidential compute. So total 7 sizes are available. Total 7 sizes are available. If you go for AWS, 7 sizes. Okay. If you go for Google Cloud, 6 sizes. So See, these six sizes are common for all platforms, sir. Maybe they are not maintaining about confidential compute. We are not sure, but these six sizes are same. These six sizes are same. Okay. Whenever you supposed to build a VM, whenever you supposed to build a VM, these six sizes are very very important. Okay. Either you are going for general purpose, or you are going for compute optimize, or you are going for memory optimize, or you are going for storage optimize, GPU high performance. Again, this concept is out of your scope as a SQL database administrator. But again, I'm telling, right, here we don't have any Windows team, network team, storage team. No one, sir. You must and should know. And you are becoming double strong. You are becoming double strong, sir, here. Okay. You no need to remember all this stuff. But if you are remembering, you will become strong in clusters. You are becoming strong in always on. While you are troubleshooting also, you will become little bit stronger than others because you know about how the infrastructure is working. Okay, please make a note down. Now, when you specially go to the general purpose, okay, GP, general purpose, balanced, sir, means when you are deploying your VM under general purpose, when you are deploying your VM under general purpose, okay, you CPU and memory will be balanced. Your CPU and memory will be balanced. Your CPU and memory will be balanced. Based on the course, your memory will be allocated. Based on the course, your memory will be allocated when you go for general purpose. When you go for general purpose, based on the course, your memory will be allocated. That is the one thing. And this is the series. In general purpose, we are having B series, DS series, DA series, okay, AV series, okay, DC series, again in the DD series. So we are having different series. Again, Subbu sir, I don't know about this series. So for example, you don't know anything about this series. Copy this series, go to here, open the Google, okay, open the Google and paste this series. You will get clear description about what is the core, what is the processor Microsoft is using, what is the speed of your processor, okay, what is your speed of processor, how many maximum, how many cores you will get it, maximum how much of RAM you will get it, everything you will get it here. You need to just again, sorry, even in AWS also, you you decide that I need to go for general purpose. Okay, I can agree. Under general purpose, which series you are deciding, you don't know anything about that series, copy that series, go to the Google search, you will get a clear description about that series, even for AWS, even for Google Cloud, even for Alibaba Cloud, even for Azure. Yep, everyone. Yes, no, sir.
Yes, sir.
This
Yes,
is the simple
yes,
algorithm, sir. Okay, this is the simple algorithm and this is the best shortcut. Even when you go for Azure admin, people also will do same thing, sir. It's very difficult to remember about all the series, right? Agree? Okay, make a note down, sir. That is a simple shortcut I'm explaining. Okay, general purpose means, okay, balanced resources. Balance means your CPU and memory will be balanced. Make a note down. Next, when you go for compute optimize, means I want powerful computer. I want powerful computers. Powerful CPU. Computer is nothing but powerful CPU, sir. Then I can go for compute optimized. I want memory optimized. My for example, take SQL Server, sir. SQL loves memory, correct? How we will love girls, right? Like same SQL will also loves memory a lot. Means everything SQL wants to keep everything in memory because memory is much faster than disk. Memory is much faster than disk. So SQL loves memory. So if you give more memory, our performance super fast. So memory optimized. So if you wanted to go for memory and even sir, as per best practices, as per I will come all the best practices later on, sir. As per best practices, if you are going to deploy the server in cloud, you need to prefer memory optimizer servers for especially for SQL servers. For especially for SQL servers, you need to specify memory optimizer servers. so that your performance will be super good. Your performance will be super good, sir, because that's what I'm repeating, right? SQL loves memory. SQL loves to keep more data in the memory, to spin the data in the memory. Okay, memory is nothing but nanoseconds, sir. Nanoseconds. Disk is milliseconds. Memory is nanoseconds. Internally, it's spinning the data in the nanoseconds. But if you go for disk, it is spinning in the milliseconds. So nanoseconds is much faster than disk. So that's the reason. Okay, remember all these sizes. We'll see what is the best practice for SQL Server later on. Once you become strong, sir, I will take a separate session. What is the best practice you should follow to build the server, especially for SQL over the cloud? Okay, so if you want memory, then go for memory optimized. If you want CPU, then go for CPU optimized. If you want go for storage, hey, I am using, uh, I am going to build a server for big data clusters, big data for big data Hadoop, sir, for Hadoop purpose. Then I can go for storage optimized, massive kind of storage. I want massive storage. Then I can go for storage optimized. Then I can go for storage optimized for big data, for Hadoop. Both are same only for Hadoop, big data, data science, all that stuff. I can go for storage optimized. For example, you are going to build a server for graphics. So you are going to perform some video editing. Okay, you are making 3D videos, 4D 3D movies, 4D movies, 70 movies, 20. So you are having m- graphics, more graphics oriented. Then I can go for GPU optimizer servers. So what is your requirement, sir? Based on that requirement, you need to choose the sizes. Either it fit for general purpose, it will for compute optimize, it will for memory optimize, it can go for storage optimize, it can go for GPU optimize, and finally, if you want high performance computes, then I can go for high performance computes. And I wanted to store some confidential data, then you can go and build the confidential computes. Whenever we are deploying, I will show you confidential computes. So based on your need, respect to that server, you need to choose the sizes, not random sizes, sir. like like when you are purchasing your laptop, whenever we are purchasing a laptop, so there are different kinds, like for example, students laptop, okay, employer laptop, some editing laptops, gaming laptops, like same, based on your need, you need to choose the sizes. Yes, no, everyone?
Yes, bro.
Questions, sir? No questions, all questions.
No, no, no. Yes, yes, we'll go for different sizes.
Yeah. Okay. Make a note down, sir. Now, let's go and deploy the VM, sir. So there are a lot again. I don't mean that this is done. There are a lot, but we'll discuss one by one, one by one, one by one in the going forward, sir. Okay. Okay. Go to the search for virtual machine, sir. If you search for VM also, you will get it. Okay. You can go to the here. You can go to the all resources, or you can go to the create a resource. Anywhere you can get it, sir. Good. Go to the compute. You will get the virtual machine. Where is compute? Where is virtual machine? Come on. Yep. Oh, this is it is going for marketplace. I don't want any marketplace. Okay, let's search for virtual machine. Virtual machine and go to the virtual machines. Okay, now go and create a virtual machine. When you are creating a virtual machine, click the Azure Virtual Machine. Okay, it will take into the another window. Okay, first I told you, right, you need to create subscription, that we already done, sir. Next step is you need to create the resource group. So before you go and deploy a resource in Azure, you need a resource group. See, sir, first this is your subscription, this is your resource group, this is your resource group. So first we need to go and create the resource group. Search for resource group. Okay, go and create the resource group. You can click here, you can click here. Okay, this is your subscription. and I am telling this as a um, primary resource group, RG, primary data center, and I am choosing the location as east to west. East to west. Okay, we are having multiple locations, sir. East to west to Southeast Asia, West Asia. Okay, Southeast Asia is nothing but Singapore data center. And if you wanted to place the servers in Japan, multiple location. South India, if you wanted to place in Chennai, South India is nothing but Chennai. Okay, West India is nothing but Mumbai. Okay, Central India will have one more Central India, where in Delhi recently Microsoft opened. Okay, you can place your resource group wherever the region nearest to user, but whe- but again my best practice is go and place in the east to west. Go and place the east to west, sir. Much faster, well designed data centers. Again, east to west, Singapore data centers are well designed data centers, much faster data centers. Okay, even you are from India, for example, if you are connecting from US, you can deploy east to west. That is too fast than us for us. But from India, east to west is faster, sir. You can access a little bit faster only. Select the east to west. Click on tags. So tags are nothing but description, sir. Description. Okay, if you wanted to add application name, okay, application app, and app name is RBA2 application. So when you see the tags, you see that okay, this resource group specially for RBA2 application. Tags are nothing but descriptions, sir. Description. Okay, provide the description and click on review and create. That's it, sir. Then click on create. Once you click on create, you can see the notification. You can see the notification. Resource group is created. Yeah, you can see the resource group. Okay, resource group, and you can see the subscription. You can see the location. Okay, I am comfortable. I created the subscription. I created the resource group. Now I'm going good to create the VM. Go to the VM, click on create, click on create VM. Again, sir, this is a basic VM. Okay, now, okay, now you want to create a choose the resource group under which subscription. If you have multiple subscription, please go and select the which subscription you wanted to go and create this resource. That is very important. And which resource group you wanted to create. Currently, I'm having only one resource group. I am going to select that resource group. I'm going to select that resource group. Now you need to select, okay, provide the server name. Virtual machine name is server name, sir. So for example, you don't know about this option. You don't have any idea. You don't know this option, and this is the mandatory, and this is newly added by Microsoft. You don't know about this option. You can place the cursor here. You will get the short description. Choose the Azure region that writes for you and your customer. See, it will provide you the short description when you place the cursor here. And here the star mark is nothing but that is very important option you need to select. Okay, everyone? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So provide the computer name. So for example, I am providing node 1. I'm providing node 1 as my computer name. Again, sir, whenever you chosen the resource group, by default you will get the location. Can I change the location, Subbu? Yes, sir, you can change. But again, that is not at all best practice. You should not change the region. Whatever the region you specify to the resource group, your resources need to belong to same region. Mandatory, sir. Now you won't face any difficulty. Where you will face the difficulty means while you are configuring the networks. While you are configuring networks, that time definitely you will face the difficulty. That time you will face the difficulty. So again, my best practice, don't change the region. Okay, whatever the region you given to the resource group, choose it will choose the same region. Okay, don't change the region. Again, resource group is not a region boundary. You can change the region, but again, that is not at all best practice. You will face lot of difficulty while you are configuring the networks. While you are configuring the networks, you will face lot of difficulties. Okay, everyone? Now,
Yes.
sir, I am not discussing anything about availability options now. I will come back this option when we are discussing always on with the load balancers. Okay. So when we are discussing always on with the load balancers, I will come back with what is availability zone, what is availability set, what is virtual mission scale set. Okay. Because this concept is very important when we are discussing load balancers. What is load balancers, what is availability set, what is availability zone, what is fault domain, what is update domain. All this stuff we'll see in the Azure always on load balancers. As of now, no need, sir. Just choose default, no need to change anything. And the security type also you can go for standard. I don't want any additional security, but because in real world you never deploy the VMs again. Okay. And one more thing, this is not a Azure admin training, sir, but even though we are not Azure admin people, you should know about this concept, because to make more strong in clusters always on, you must and should know. Go for standard security. I don't want any third party or Microsoft additional security. Go for standard security. And here the image is nothing but your operating system. What operating system you want? So you want Linux operating system, you want Windows operating system, and you want Windows servers operating system, you want Windows 11, Windows 10 operating system. Which operating system you want? Which operating system, sir? Okay, which operating system you want, that operating system you need to choose. So currently I am choosing Windows Server 2022. That is the latest operating system. Windows servers. Windows servers. Okay, choose the Windows servers operating system. Okay, fine. And which architecture? 64-bit operating system. Choose the 64-bit operating system. Scroll down and run as Azure Spot discount. Okay, this ignore this option. We will discuss later. I told you, right? Size is very important. Here is the size. One thing, provide the server name, choose the region, okay, and choose the availability option, choose the image is nothing but your operating system, along with, okay, choose the size is very very important, sir. So when you go to the sizes, when you go to the sizes, okay, so when you click on add, you will see the generation. Under generation, okay, so under generation, okay, not generation, let's go for family, let's go for type. Okay, under the type, you will see general purpose GPU, high performance compute, compute optimized, memory optimized, storage optimized, confidential confidential compute. And now you are seeing one more series, FPGA series. Oh, one more series. That's what I told you. Last batch, when we are discussing on last batch, we will see only this. Now for this batch, Microsoft added one more compute. So that's what, sir. Cloud is drastically enhancing. Okay, if you are strictly with the documents, then gone. Okay, when you're especially working with the clouds, you need to go to the latest documents, always latest documents. Okay, so for example, if you go to the general purpose, if you choose here, again, sir, this stuff you never do in real world. You never get a chance to do in real world. This is completely for, okay, this is completely you will do in your laptop. Okay, maximum you won't get all this stuff in real world. Now, you will see how many cores, how much of RAM, and what is the disk, how many disks you can create, and how many IOPS you can perform. Sir, this part, this part I will discuss in the storage session. I will discuss in the storage session. As of now, no need to worry, sir. Okay, and how much Microsoft is charging for this one? For one core, 3 GB of RAM with the 4 disk. Okay, so and 32,000 IOPS. IOPS is nothing but input output. How many reads you can perform? How many writes you can perform per second? 32,000 read writes you can perform per second. Per second. Okay, and Microsoft is providing a temporary disk, 7 GB. 7 GB temporary disk also Microsoft is providing, and Microsoft is going to charge, okay, $91. Okay, before that, let me, sir, 1 second. Okay, I need to choose the region, sir. I don't want dollars. Let's make it in Indian currency. Yes, come on. Check settings, region. Let's choose English India. Apply. Click on OK. Okay, sir. Yeah, I set my. Let me refresh. Okay, still it is doing. No worries, sir. So Microsoft is charging $91. Microsoft is charging $91 for this configuration. Okay, under general purpose, I told you, right, we are having many flavors. Okay, we are having DS series, we are having B2 series. Okay, we are having D series, B series, E series, F series, FX series, H series, L series, M series. Okay, lots are again too many series, too many. So, oh, I need to filter it. Oh, sorry, type. Okay, sorry, I need to type. So if you go for general purpose, you will see these series are D, B series are available. So which series means based on your type, you need to choose what is the size I want, what is the memory I am looking. That size you need to select. Again, there is one more restriction from Microsoft. Maximum you can use 4 cores under free trial. Means if I'm going for every VM 1 core, maximum 4 VMs you can deploy, sir. That is one of the biggest challenge with Azure Free Trial. Only 4 VMs you can deploy. Every VM you need to go for 1 core, maximum 4 cores you can use it. That is free trial, sir, not pay as you go model. Okay, you can choose whatever size you want, whatever generation you want based on that. So if I go to the not general purpose, if I go to the compute optimized, okay, if I go for compute optimized, sir, okay, now you will see F series maximum how many cores you are getting, sir. Maximum you are getting for 64 cores and 128 GB of RAM, 128 GB of RAM. If you go for compute optimized, if you go for compute optimized, so if I go for memory optimized, so for example I don't want compute, if I go for memory optimized, now you are having too many series, sir. If I go for E series, okay, maximum you will get it 96 cores and maximum you are getting 672 GB of RAM. Sir, this is RAM again, not storage. 672 GB of RAM. Okay, in this series, in this E E version 5 series. If I go for okay, M series, okay. Oh my God, you are getting 128 cores, 128 cores more powerful, sir, and you are getting almost 2 TB of RAM, 3.8 TB of RAM. Yeah, TB, sir, RAM, memory. If you go for M series, again in M series, V2 series, okay. Oh my God, 460, 416 cores, core, cores, 400. This is the most powerful computers are then, and you are getting almost 11 TB of RAM. 11 only, right? Yes, 11 TB of RAM. Oh my God, most powerful computer then that is with 460 cores of CPU along with the 11 TB of RAM, and you are getting maximum 64 disk you can assign, and each disk into 50 IOPS. Okay, and almost 8 TB of uh, 8, 8 GB of temporary storage Microsoft is offering. See, sir, 8 TB, right? 8 TB, yeah, 8 TB. And but size, sir, price is also like anything, sir. Okay, 86,000 dollars Microsoft is charging for one VM. For one VM, sir. This is for one VM. $86,000. Then you need to convert into rupees. If you convert into rupees, that much, sir. So when you are going to deploy a VM, the size is very matters. Or which size you wanted to deploy, you can choose the size. Okay, any size, sir, as per your need. So I am going for general purpose. Okay, general purpose. Under general purpose, I am choosing. Okay, come on, yeah. Let's close everything. Shit. Let me, sir. Node one. Node one. Okay. Let me go for standard securities. Let me go for Windows Server. Okay. Let me go for two cores with 8 GB of RAM, sir. I'm going for two cores with 8 GB of RAM. Two cores with 8 GB of RAM. That is too good for me, sir. Okay. The size is I'm going for general purpose. Under general purpose, I'm going for two. Sir, when you are practicing clusters always on, you need to go for one core with the 3.5 GB of RAM. That is too good for your VM. So maximum you can deploy four VMs. You can practice everything, sir. Clusters always on everything you can practice with that four cores is fine, sir. Okay. Questions, everyone? And you need to provide your login name, and you need to provide your password, and you need to provide your password. Provide the password. Fine, sir. And by default, it is listening all the VMs. Okay, Windows VM will listen with the port number 3389. 3389. Leave it, sir. You no need to change anything. Scroll down. Now you need to go for disk, you need to go for network, you need to go for management, monitoring, advanced tags, and review and create. So first window, you need to provide the server name, choose the size, choose the image, choose the region, choose the availability, and provide your login name and password, and just go to the disk. Sir, as of now, this is I am not discussing anything about disk. Okay, okay. So I am not creating any disk, sir. This is the just basic VM deployment. This is just basic VM deployment. So let's go for default, sir. I'm going for default. Network also default. Okay, network also default. Management. Okay, here in going forward we'll discuss one by one. Let's go for default, sir. No need to change anything as it is how it looks like. Let's go for default. Go to the monitoring. Here disable the boot diagnostics, sir. What do you mean by boot diagnostic? Means whenever you are deploying a VM, okay, once you deploy the VM, whenever you are restarting the VM, sometimes after restart your VM is not coming online. Okay, you are unable to restart. After restart your VM is not coming to online. You are unable to restart. That time, if you wanted to collect additional logs, you need to enable the boot diagnostic logs, but we don't want really, sir. So that's the reason we are disabling the boot diagnostics. We are disabling the boot diagnostics. And what else? If you wanted to integrate Azure Active Directory, you can integrate. Okay, if you want to do auto shutdown, you can auto shutdown. If you wanted to take the backup of this VM, you can take the backup of this VM. And you need to inform to Azure team. Okay, go for automatic OS update. I don't want Microsoft, sir, because I am having control to this operating system. I can update my operating system. You no need to depends on Microsoft. I don't want depend on Microsoft. Whenever I want, I can update my operating system. Okay, like security patches or security patches, I can update. So I can go for manual updates. If you go for automatic updates, so Microsoft is going to take care and perform the updates. Microsoft is going to perform the updates. But when you go for manual, your Windows team will take the responsibility. Your Azure Windows team will take the responsibility. All these stuffs are Windows team related, sir. Okay, you no need to worry. And monitoring, I told you, advance. There is one thing you need to remember, sir. Okay, extension. So, for example, along with the operating system, I want antivirus to install. I want third-party tool to install. So that time you can go for extension. That time you can go for extension if you want to install any third party tool along with your operating system. So if you wanted to install agent for Windows Server monitoring, you wanted to install semantic antivirus, if you wanted to install Azure Active Directory based Windows login, you wanted to install Azure pipeline agent, you wanted to install something, sir. Okay, you wanted to install Datadog agent. Okay, so if you want to install any third party agent along with the operating system, in the extension tab you can, sir. In the extension tab you can select, you can just select and you can just click on next. So along with your operating system you will get this extension. You will get this extension. I don't want any extension, sir. Okay, let's go for VM deployment. Or what you can do means, I don't want to choose customized extension. I don't want to choose default extension. I want to write some programmatic to install some product to install. So for example, I am writing hash bash, okay, uh, hash wget, okay, and provide the GitHub link www dot, okay, github github, okay, .com. So for example, you want to write some coding, okay, you can perform that coding in the customized data. So same thing again when you are deploying AWS, same, sir. There will be extension, there will be custom data, whatever you can do it, sir. But again, you are not part of Windows team, you no need to worry about all this stuff. Okay, but remember, sir, that's it, that is too good for you. Okay, everyone clear? So our main focus should be basic part, disk part, networking part. We will see one by one, sir. Today we will see basic of how to deploy the VM. Tomorrow we'll see network, and I will build the servers as well. And when we are discussing storage, I will discuss about the storage. Okay, not okay? And once you select everything, then just click on review and create. So there are lot many options, sir. There is a capacity reservation, you can reserve the capacity, and there is a placement group. Okay, what do you mean by placement group means? So for example, uh, this is your data center and this is your rack. Under the rack, for example, this is RBA2 application. For this application you wanted to build 5 VMs. Okay, 5 VMs. So in the rack, so we are having multiple divisions, right? Okay, multiple. So one VM is deploying in this rack. Okay, one more VM is deploying in this rack. One more VM is deploying in this rack. One more VM is deploying in this rack. So one more VM is deploying one more different in the same building, different racks. Okay, here. So I don't want to place all these VMs in different racks. I want to place all this VM at closest racks. That time what they will do means, they will create the placement group and they will assign the placement group while you are creating the VM, so that whatever the servers are going to part of that placement group, all the VMs will be closer in the data center. Okay, not okay, everyone? Oh, that is there again. Okay. Apart from nothing else here, we need to discuss. And if you wanted to mention the description, you can mention the description and click on review and create. Here, most important is VM name, username, password, image, size. Okay, and we want to know a little bit about the disk. We want to know a little bit about the network. Being you are not part of Azure admin people, you no need to worry, sir. If you are Azure admin, then you need to know in depth about all these concepts. Earlier, I used to teach all these concepts when I'm teaching Azure admin.
Any
Click
videos
on
available, Subbu, regarding that one?
no, sir. That's I by mistakenly not that time there is no YouTube channel for me. That time
Okay.
I recorded in where uh, Google Drive
Okay.
that time. Even I teached DevOps as well. Almost
Oh.
two batches I completed DevOps. Later on, okay, no, 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 all this stuff, no. Okay, and whatever the option you selected, everything's no need basically. Uh, Again, it's go for in a different direction for you people. Whatever I'm saying, that is too good for you, sir, to build the VMs in
Okay.
especially in cloud. And I will tell you what is the best practice. What is the best practice for SQLs related VMs? Okay, questions, everyone? No, yes.
I have one question. How many we can create from one subscription?
Sir, you want to spend the money as much and you can deploy, sir. No worries.
No, no, free in free.
In free 4 VM, that's what I told you, right? In free only 4 VMs. Every VM you need to go for one core 3 GB of RAM.
Okay.
And you go for pay as you go model, no worries, sir. You can use how many? Microsoft will get the amount right.
Oh,
So just when we started, here you see the status, sir. So few seconds ago we started. Done, sir. See how much time it took to create the VM. Sir, if you wanted to create using Oracle VirtualBox, Hypervisor, or VMware, VM Studio, okay, at least it will take 20 to 25 minutes to come to create one VM, sir. But how much time it took to create a VM in cloud? Just a fraction of seconds. It will took to create the VM. Yeah, your server is ready. This is your server. How it looks like. Okay, this is the public IP address, this is the private IP address. Okay, this is your server name, and what is the size, which operating system, what is the location, what is the status, what is the subscription, what is the tax, and here you will see a lot of other stuff. We'll see, sir, one by one in the going forward. Okay, so every session, right, you will get one new point, new point, new point, sir. Okay, don't think anything wrong, sir. My main intention is I need to spend on troubleshooting. Hope you are getting my point, right? You need troubleshooting, sir, basically. Okay, all this stuff you won't handle in real world. You never handle in real world. Okay, we need to spend more time on troubleshooting, like always on troubleshooting, cluster troubleshooting. And meanwhile, what is important for us that I'm going to cover in step by step, sir. Okay, now see, I deployed a VM. I deployed one VM. Now what you need to do, I need to copy this public IP address. Okay, go to the server, go to the run command, open mstsc, Microsoft Terminal Service Console. Nothing but RDP, RDP, Remote Desktop Protocol, RDP, Remote Desktop Connection, whatever you can call it, sir. So, especially Windows servers need to RDP. So this is my laptop. This is the server on cloud. I wanted to connect to the server. So that time open mstsc. Okay, click on OK and provide the IP address. Sir, here why is Subbu sir you are not providing the name? Sir, to provide the name we need to do DNS entries. Okay, lot of DNA entries. Forget about, but in real world, they will do the DNS entries. Okay, what do you mean by DNS? Means name, name will be converted into IP address, IP address will be converted into name. That is what they will do, DNS. Okay, so for example, if you go to the CMD, NS lookup, NS lookup. Okay, oh sorry sir, NS lookup www.google.com. So for example, this is your Google site. So your Google is listening with these two IP address. Whenever you search NS lookup, you will get different IP address. When someone is searching, they will get different IP address. Okay, so this is the public IP address. This is IPv6, IPv4. That tomorrow I will explain you, sir, little bit. Okay, copy this IP address, not IPv6, sir. Copy IPv4 and go to the Google Chrome and paste the IP address. Open, you will get the Google. See, sir, convertible. Who is converting? DNS team will convert. Domain Network Service team. There is a separate team, DNS team. They will take care the responsibility. You no need to worry, sir. So see, I can open www.google.com. I can open with the IP address as well. Like same in real world. In real world, you can connect server with name or with IP address or with IP address. So in real world, you will connect with the name only, sir, because names can easily remember instead of remembering the IP address. Okay. So but here we don't have any DNS team, right? So we are accessing with the IP address. Okay. Clear, everyone?
Yes,
But
sir.
regarding the DNS also, I will explain you, sir, in depth. Okay, not configuring part I am not explaining, but how the DNS helping as a database administrator to understood routing the connections. That I will take a session. Okay, make a note. That I will take a session, but not configuration part, sir. I am not okay showing the configuration part of the DNS. That again two different concept. Okay, copy the IP address, paste it here, sir, and click on connect. Okay, now it is opening. Provide your username and password, whatever the name you provide, say admin, and provide the password. Provide the password. Okay, click on yes. That's it, sir. Now you connect to server Z. You connected to the Windows server. In this server, you can install SQL, you can install Oracle, you can install Python, whatever you want, you can play with this server. Whatever you can play with this server. This is the server which is hosted on cloud. Like same the servers which are on premises, there is no difference, sir. Okay, but where the server is hosted is very important, either in cloud or in on premises, either in cloud or in on premises. It is connecting, sir. It will connect, and you can minimize and do whatever you want. See, sir, I can minimize. I can go and deploy one more VM. I can go and deploy one more VM. Okay, so I am choosing the resource group. I am specifying node 2. Okay, and I am choosing same region. I don't want any availability options. I want standard encryption security. This time I am choosing Linux operating system. This time I am choosing Linux operating system. Last time I chose Windows operating system. Just now we deployed Windows operating system. Let's go and deploy Linux operating system. Okay, so when you are deploying Linux operating system, I think again same, sir, which operating system you want and what is the size. So I am choosing 2 cores with 8 GB of RAM. 2 cores with 8 GB of RAM. Now, for especially with the Linux operating system, here two things are. One is SSH keys, one is password. One is SSH key, one is password. So password means either username, password, sir. Everyone knows that how to connect using username and password. Let's do something different, sir. Okay, let's do something different. I don't want using password base. I want to do with SSH keys base. Okay, one second. Let me open the Azure SQL. Okay, so to connect to the Linux server, sir, to connect to the Linux server, you need putty. Someone will call it as a putty, someone will call it as a putty, whatever name you can call it, sir. Okay, someone will call it as a putty, someone will call it as a putty. Okay, so in real world or anywhere, sir, if you wanted to connect to the Linux machine, you will use putty. This is the common tool you will use to connect to the Linux machine. To connect to the Linux machine. Please make a note down. Okay. Now I want to generate the SSS keys. SSS keys. So I don't have any SSS keys, sir. Okay. Now I am telling, hey, generate the new SSS key. I don't have any public key or nothing, sir. Generate the SSS key. Okay. So now this time there is a tool called Puttigen. Okay. You need to download, we need to download from the Google search. Just I will share you the link. Go to the Puttigen and download the Puttigen tool and click on generate. Now it is generating the key for you with 248 characters. 248 characters with the algorithm RSA. Sir, if you place mouse outside, it will take lot time to create. So please move the cursor inside. It will create very quickly. Done. Oh, sorry. Done. Now see, sir, it created one public key. Copy that public key. More encrypted, sir. I am encrypting my server lot. Okay. Now go to our block and provide the key. That's it, sir. Oh, use the public key. Sorry. Okay. That's it. This time I am connecting to the Linux box with my key, SSH key, not with the username and password. I don't want to connect with the username and password. I wanted to connect. I want more secured my VMs with the SSH keys at the 2048 characters. Okay. Okay, I am providing. Rest everything same, sir. You no need to do any changes. This time you need to remember what is the port number for Linux machine? 22. 22. Okay. What is the port number for Windows? 3389. 3389 is the port number. That's it, sir. Disks are same, network is same, management is same, monitoring is same. Okay. Advantage is same, everything same. There is no change. Only which operating system you are choosing, that option you need to choose. And whether you go for Linux operating system, I want password base, I want SSH keys base, try to go for SSH keys base, sir. Okay, I will show you password base as well, no worries. Then click on review and create. That's it, sir. Your Linux VM is creating now. It will create in just a fraction of seconds. It will create. That's it. Done. Meanwhile, you go to the VM, sir. Okay, this is how your Windows server looks like. This is how your Windows server looks like. And here you can download SQL, you can install SQL, you can install Oracle, you can install PostgreSQL, whatever you can do it, sir. This VM is hosted on the cloud. But again, sir, please don't shut down the servers. Once you connect to the server in real world, again I'm telling in real world, once you connect to the server, do whatever work you want, either installing the SQL, uninstalling the SQL, performing backups, applying the patches, whatever you want, you can do it, sir. Once you complete your work, open run command and log off. Don't directly close here, sir. Okay? If you close this here, sometimes your account will get locked out. That time again to unlock the account, you need to call to customer care. Whatever they are telling, you can't understand. Whatever you are saying, they can't understand. You will face difficulty, definitely. So please don't close here, sir. Click log off and click on OK. That's it. You are get signing out and coming. And if you go here, your server is running, Caesar. Your server is running. You connect to the server. You done your work. Log off. Okay. Don't shut down. Don't restart the servers until there is a approval and until there is a activity. Okay. Hope you understood, sir. Everyone. Okay, Subbu sir.
Okay,
I
sir.
created Linux VM. Okay. Go to the Linux VM. Now again same, sir. Okay. Copy the public IP address. Go to the putty. Go to the putty and provide the IP address here. And this is the port number. Click on open. If you click on open, you will get yes symbol. Click on yes and provide the username Azure user. Okay. Click on enter. It will fail. It will fail, sir. Okay. Because we need to do one more thing, sir. Okay. We need to save the private IP address. Okay. So if you want to pass the password, you can pass the password. That password you are calling as a passphrase. Okay. I don't want any password, sir, because this is not a real world, right? Let me save this one. Okay. Click on save. Go to the desktop and provide that private SSS. Okay. And it will save in the form of PPK, private key. Okay. Click on save. Done, sir. Now open the putty again once again. Okay. Go to SSS, go to the auth and choose the private key. In real world, that private key, this private key, they will move to the server, sir. They will move to the server. Next time it won't ask. But here we don't want to move to the server. That's the reason we are just selecting that key. We are selecting that key. That's it, sir, apart from nothing. Go to the session, provide your IP address, click on open, provide your username, Azure user, and click on enter. Now it is connected. See, sir, it connected to the server. Now here, whatever you can do it, sir. So, for example, if you wanted to see what data is available, ls. If you wanted to create a folder, mkdir batch hash 40, sorry, what to hash 40, enter. It created one folder. If I wanted to go to the folder, cd batch hash 40, you went to the folder. See, sir, now you are in the folder, and then now you wanted to create a file, cat. Okay. And create note. Okay. Cat. Hey. Oh, sorry. Touch. Okay. Note. Okay. One note is created. Now you can see ls, there is one file is there. And if you wanted to open cat note, okay, cat only, right? Yes, cat. Yeah. Everything you need to do from command prompt. Not like Windows, sir. Windows, what you will do, you right click create, like when you go to the Linux, no, you need to do everything from the command line. I will take a separate session for Linux, sir, how to install SQL Server on Linux operating system. Okay, then that time I will discuss more. Anyhow, we need to discuss the PostgreSQL. PostgreSQL need to discuss everything in Linux only. You will become somewhat strong in Linux. This is how your Windows team will do lot of stuff for you, sir. You are not doing, you are just installing SQL Server and you are maintaining. Back end, there are too many teams are working. Okay, let me stop here. It's too late. Okay, clear, not clear, everyone?
Clear, Subbu.
Okay, so once you done practice everything, sir, okay, you can go and delete the resource group, sir. I don't want this resource group for tomorrow session. I need to create a different resource group. Let me go and delete. Go and delete entire resource group. It will delete whatever the resources you deployed at one shot.
Any particular reason you are deleting, Subbu?
I don't want these VMs or all this stuff. I don't want.
Okay.
My practice is done. I'm deleting.
Okay.
Why I need to, if you're running, Microsoft is going to charge, sir. My $200 will go within 10 days only.
That's why
I
I'm
don't
asking
want.
the
My
reason.
practice is done. I'm deleting. That's it.
Okay.
So this node one is created with PaaS, right? Platform as a service, right? Since it is created with OS.
No, both are IaaS only, sir. Infrastructure as a service. These are infrastructure as a service.
Okay.
No, I'm not getting your question. Sorry.
So we created this node one, right, with operating
Yes.
system. So is it IaaS or PaaS now?
No, PaaS we are not discussing, sir. Completely IaaS. IaaS only VMs will comes into the picture. In IaaS
Okay.
only VMs will comes into the picture, sir. PaaS we'll discuss later. After cluster, we'll start the PaaS.
Okay. So when we are creating the node one, is there any option that we selected like
No,
is
sir.
this IaaS or PaaS? How
No, no, no. It's service. What service you are deploying? That service is we need to. That's what I told you, right? When we are discussing initially. In IaaS, you will get the VMs, network, storage. In PaaS, you will get Azure SQL Database, Azure MI, Cosmos DB. All are PaaS. You don't have any control on operating system, sir. Sir, if you go for Azure SQL Database, this is a PaaS. Nowhere it mentioned that this is a PaaS. That you are understanding. That we need to
okay,
understood. Okay, this is a PaaS because we don't have any control on operating system. Here we have control on operating system. So based on the service, you need to decide whether it is IaaS, it will falls into IaaS, it will falls into the PaaS.
okay. Yeah, I some reason I thought
No,
with
no worries,
OS
sir.
it
No
is a
worries.
PaaS.
No, sir. Yeah, straight away, if you are deploying a VM, if you are deploying a network, if you are deploying a storage, that will falls into IaaS straight away.
Okay.
Yeah. The first 2 days, it's a little bit harder, sir, because this is completely new. Okay. Okay. So tomorrow I will deploy again VMs with the networks. Okay. Then will become stronger, and third day you will become strong, sir. I am not telling day one you will become strong. Okay. Yeah. Any questions before we stop?
No super as of now.